Warning: the following does not contain Game of Thrones spoilers. However, it does contain a lot of ranting about Game of Thrones. Viewer discretion is still advised.
Oh, I can't see anything without my glasses on. I forgot. Hello, my name is Krisha. I'm 19, and I am so angry about Game of Thrones. I was planning on watching Game of Thrones and going to bed, which is what I usually can do. So I'm not one of those fans that usually gets so riled up about Game of Thrones I want to like smash something into a window. But season 8, episode 4, not the best. So instead I'm going to film a YouTube video so I go to bed exhausted and semi-angry, then full-on rage anger. On my Instagram, Krisha MUA, I posted 7 photos or 7 looks I've done in the past while, and I said vote to see which one I do on this channel, and the one you voted for was number 4, or this beautiful one, which is like a purple eye with a lot of highlighter. Now, I wore this to the Philadelphia Ariana Grande concert, which was so much fun. I went with my sister and our friends Vanessa and Victoria, and honestly just seeing Ariana Grande live it's an experience. So let's dive in to the look. Now, if you want to see the exact products that I used for that face, then just go onto my Instagram and scroll down, you can find it. But I'm going to be using like the products I've been liking lately. So first we're going to spray our face with MAC Fix Plus. I did a lot of skincare today because today is Skincare Sunday. I hardcore cleansed and I did a mask, so my skin is in its optimal prime to do this look. Also, I recarved a notch into my eyebrow. So the last time I cut it, it literally looked like I chopped off half of my eyebrow. So I decided I'm gonna let it grow out and I'm gonna like really take care of the hairs. So now you can actually see a notch and it doesn't just look like I cut the end of my eyebrow off. So next, for filling our pores, I actually got a free sample of the NYX Pore Filler Primer. And I'm just trying this out, but so far I really like it. It's thick with like 20 C's, but that's always nice. We like a thick primer. Also, you want to use this sparingly, just because I know with like certain pore filling primers, like if you put on too much, then it actually hinders the performance rather than help. So then for foundation, I've really been loving the Infallible 24-hour Fresh Wear foundation. I've been wearing this a lot. I actually, if you also have seen on my Instagram, Krisha MUA, I actually used this, and I'm actually going to use this today, the e.l.f. concealer, and I wore it for, I think, 17 hours, and they both really kept up, so they've been my favorite. And I'm going to apply this with my Real Techniques paddle brush, which I'm just going to give a little spritz of Fix Plus with. Brush because it evenly disperses everything, but I go over it with a sponge because the sponge gets out all the streaks. You want Snapchat streaks, not foundation streaks. For concealer, we're going to use the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. And powder, Coty Airspun. So we're gonna let this sit while we do our brows. Now I'm gonna pencil in my brows with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer, and then I'm going to use the Rimmel Brow This Way gel to put them in place, even though I'm not doing anything. So actually, this is probably the last video I'm going to be in this apartment, which is a bit, I don't know, like this was my first ever, even though it is technically like my college's housing, it's still a little bittersweet. It feels like my first place where I called it my own. Yeah, but moving on to bigger and better things. Not bad.
Nothing is bad when you do it.
Aww. Jesus Christ, I wasn't ready for that. I summoned a rose.
Chris is recording a video. Hello.
You can come in and say hi if you want. Again, it's bittersweet that this is the last video in the apartment. You know what's not bittersweet though? These eyebrows. These are just bitter. Dust off the bake. So now a quick spritz of spray. I'm running out of Fix Plus, so I'm going to use the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. Honestly, they do the same thing. So because I am just putting on this face of makeup to put on and I'm taking it off and going to bed, I'm not gonna bake because honestly it's a waste of powder. But right now is when I would bake, and then when we're done the eyeshadow, you would take it off and do another spritz. So now we're gonna do eyeshadow. I don't exactly remember how I did the eyeshadow, but I am 90% sure I know how I did it. I mainly used the James Charles Morphe palette. I first took a very fluffy blending brush, and I took Canvas, which is the top left color. I'm just gonna dust this on my lids just to put down like a base to blend with. Then I'm going to take Punch Me and start defining that crease. Basically what we're doing with the James Charles palette, because this has a lot more different types of browns, a lot more different hues, is that I'm very slowly and gradually building and building and building, so it's really brown and smoky. And then, but the star is going to be the purple pigment we're putting on top, and it's just gonna look really like kapow. Wow, the one time I can get a perfect blend on a crease is when I'm not doing anything and I'm just doing this for fun times and giggles. So now really quick, I'm just gonna take Punch Me and just run it on my bottom lash line, like nothing too fancy, like, and the whole lash line. So now I'm gonna go in with No Beans and mainly focus this on like the outer half of the crease, but really like smoke it in. Oh, did I say the second half of our crease? Oops, I meant the whole crease. Whoops. And we are actually going to put No Beans on the second half of the lash line, very gently feathered in. And now just really quickly, I'm going to take a blending brush and dip back into Canvas and just fluff out those edges, because we're like living our Uncle Fester realness right now, as Jaclyn Hill would say. So now finally we're going to take Benny, which is just above the black. It's dark enough to be a dark brown, but it's not dark enough to be black. And just put this, tuck it right into the outer V, just to like bring it all together. And be very, very gentle with this shade. It's very, very dark. I want Punch Me to be a little darker, so I'm gonna take a lot of Punch Me and like a teeny dip of No Beans, and just glide that on the lid. And like the purple is gonna cover the majority of the inner corner and the lid. I just want a base to be down, so like it has a little bit of a fighting chance. So next, we're going to take the Catrice Precious Pigments Loose Eyeshadow. They only have purple, but okay. And in Purple Fiction, and this is what we're going to use on the lid. Do I want to put powder down to catch fallout? I will regret it if I don't do it. So I'm going to take the end of this brush. I'm going to wet it with Fix Plus, and then going to dip it into the eyeshadow, tap off the excess, spray it, and apply it to my lid. And then with the excess, just put a little bit on your bottom lash line, and I just add a little bit of it loose on top, because I feel like you lose some of the metallicness when it's wet. So now to blend out any of that purple, we have to wait a minute for it to dry. So as we're waiting, we're going to do liner. So now we're just gonna blend the edges because the purple is now dry. Next, I'm gonna take the highlighter that I'm actually going to use later for my whole face, but I kind of just want to lay it down now. For my whole face, I'm going to use the NikkieTutorials and Ofra collab in Glazed Donut, and this highlighter is possibly one of my favorite highlighters of all time. And we're gonna use this to highlight the inner corner and brow bone. I'm gonna wipe off the bake. And another spritz. I use the Essence eyeliner pen, the waterproof one. I'm going to put on mascara and probably lashes. And I use the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise waterproof mascara. And for lashes, I'm using ARDELL Demi-Wispies as always. I'm gonna quickly glue them on off camera. Not the best at applying false lashes. I'm always gonna do those off camera. So now I'm gonna contour with the Wet n Wild Coloricon bronzer. I think they still sell this. I think as long as Game of Thrones is on, they're always gonna have this. Bronze, I'm going to use the ColourPop Single Pressed Pan Powder in Opening Act. That is a mouthful. For blush, I'm going to use the Milani Rose Blush. I want this to dry for a little bit, so we're gonna do this first. This is the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in Nudist Peach. I don't care if it's a little messy because I'm gonna put something over it. So next we're gonna spray a little before highlight. Again, we're using the Ofra highlighter collab with NikkieTutorials. Now what I love about this highlighter is that you don't see it until the light hits it. Wow. It's #gorgeous. And I apply a lot of this because I want it to be glowing at that concert. My favorite thing to do is just with the stuff on the excess, go over my forehead, because then it looks like skin. Now, last touch is I'm taking the ColourPop Disney Collection lipstick in Ariel, and I'm just putting this on top because I found that Nudist Peach was way too peach for my liking, so I did mix it with a little bit of this because this is very neutral. And then setting spray. And that is it. That's how I did my makeup for the Ariana Grande concert, which was number 4. And I do really love it. It's definitely full glam, not for the faint of heart. Thank you for everyone on my Instagram who voted and then came back and watched the video. I know I did that poll like 3 weeks ago. It's just I've been so busy with finals and all that. Oof, that highlight. For my outfit, I had black leggings and I had those shoes were from Target. The jacket was from Windsor. The top was from Urban Outfitters, and then the tiara for NASA was from Claire's. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys like me, please subscribe. And thanks for watching. Have a great night.